What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Monday Night Rants on the Better Sports Network. That's at Better Network at all your favorite social media platforms. I, of course, am Edward Raus, at Edward Raus at all your favorite social media platforms as well. Woo! Took a week off, went on vacation. Got my relaxing vacation on, went to Hawaii, snorkeled for the first time. They tell you, don't touch the coral, don't touch the reefs. Well, they sure as hell touched me. It was fun, though. I'm not going to lie. Had a really good time with really good friends in Hawaii. Had a good week off. But man, had a week off. I watched a little bit of the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, some MLB. I was trying to keep completely off of sports completely while I was in Hawaii. I checked. You can't sports bet there, so there's that. We just got made legal, but not till 2025. So what am I going to do? Relax on the beach and read some sci-fi, baby. And that's exactly what I did. But I'm back. We're back. Heavy T will be joining me tonight. Thomas Stevens is ill. He will not be joining me. He'll be back next week with a vengeance, as he always is. A lot to talk about. I'm not going to lie. It's been a really sad week. Sad week in the sports world. Sad. I'm not going to talk about the golfer. That was sad. NFL kickers. Whew. Sad. We did have one good thing happen, though. One good thing happened is that Taco Bell, that's right, is teaming up with Cheez-Its for this debacle. What on earth is that? We're going to pay, what, $10 for that giant Cheez-It with some Taco Bell stuff on it? Or we'll shove it in a wrap? Taco Bell. What have we done with this Taco Bell just trying to do whatever we can to duo anything for this? What is this? It's terrible. I love Cheez-Its too, but this is, look at that tostada. That is sad. That is a sad tostada. Why don't you just buy a normal Crunch Wrap, buy your own Cheez-Its, and just stuff them in it? Just saying. But it's been a sad week of sports. Teams in the NBA are getting swept. Injuries are happening galore in baseball and MLB. More on that later. But we do have a special announcement for you tonight. Stay tuned, because when Heavy T joins the show in about roughly 15 minutes, we will have a special announcement going forward with the future of Monday Night Rants. What? What does that mean? I don't know. Stay tuned to find out. But I am refreshed. I am relaxed. And besides the fact that sports have been really sad the last week while I was gone, I have a lot to say tonight. I know people thinking, I know, Edward, you always... Yeah, but tonight, towards the end of the show, I have a lot to say. So stay tuned to that. Well, without further ado, we've had a week off. We're back. Let's get right into tonight's Rant Lines. The first one is obvious. It's in the title of the show, so you know. Get out the sticks. The party's over. Is anyone in agreement that this NBA playoffs has been kind of anticlimactic? Key players are getting hurt at the wrong times. We all knew the Celtics were going to do what they're going to do. And everyone's like, oh, maybe the Timberwolves will do something. These young teams, the Thunder. No. Here we are. Possibly right now it's 48-46 in game 4. Possibly 2 sweeps to go to the NBA Finals. Now, I did pick the Celtics to win the whole thing. I know, but they were the favorite, but I did. Last year, I picked the Nuggets, and they won the whole thing. Way before the playoffs even started. I picked the Celtics before the playoffs started this year as well. Just because I thought the West would just murder each other to game sevens until they got to the Celtics who had the easier ride. Turns out that could be the case. Now, let's not give Indiana less credit than deserved. Because the Pacers, game 1, went to overtime. They should have won that game. Game 2, they lost. Game 3, without Halliburton, who's out tonight again, by the way, they also should have won that game. They blew an 18-point lead in the third quarter to lose that game. It could easily be 2-1 Pacers. Okay? On the other side, Denver, the Nuggets, are just outclassing the Timberwolves. Experience is beating the young guns. The young guns are getting outclassed. The defensive player of the year, Rudy Gobert, ain't playing to his potential. And Karl Anthony Towns, not enough experience. It's similar to what we saw last year. Now, next year, this Timberwolves team with this experience should rise up and be probably one of the best teams in the West, if not the. So I'm looking forward to that, but too much Kyrie hitting clutch shots and too much Doncic. It's too much. Now, Derek Lively will be out tomorrow. That's a huge loss for the Mavs, but I think the Mavs get it. And right now, as I'm watching this, it looks like the Celtics will get it too. Anticlimactic, I know. So then you look at the finals. Okay, we're going to have the Celtics and the Mavs. The Mavs have been here before. Got embarrassed. The Celtics team is on a mission. They do match up well on paper. On paper. But that doesn't always, go to the court. I think the Celtics win in 5. It's going to be a very anticlimactic NBA Finals year. The Celtics will win another title. Woo, hurrah! Everyone wins. Not really. And then we move on to next year. Or we move on to the NBA draft, which, by the way, is going to be a nightmare. More on that as that shows up. Speaking of nightmares, the MLB is in a lot of trouble. They keep on losing their stars. Remember when they tried to make Fernando Tatis Jr. the face? Hurt. Then steroids. Then it was Ohtani. Well, he's going through this weird thing he's doing with his interpreter and blah, blah, blah. Did he gamble? Did he not? He didn't. Ooh, is it a cover up? We don't know. And now, a guy who broke records last year is once again going through an ACL tear. This is his second one, by the way. Ronald Acuna Jr. The MLB has an issue. A big issue with their stars getting hurt. Mike Trout. Bryce Harper has always been injury prone. It's not just the pitchers. These star players are also getting hurt right when they become the face. Tatis was on the show. Hurt, steroids. Jazz Chisholm was on the show. For some weird reason, I don't even know. We'll figure that one out later. And then it was Ohtani. Then the whole scandal broke. The MLB has an issue with these star players getting hurt or going through scandals. It's hurting the brand. The brand has been going down for a long time. It's still going down. They try to bring these players up, and boom, no Acuna the rest of the season. Now, the last time Acuna went out for the entire season, they just happened to win the whole damn thing, the Braves. So, we'll see what happens. The Braves still have a really good team. They are way behind the Phillies in the standings now. They'll probably make the wild card, but with injuries and stuff to Atlanta, MLB has an issue here. What star do you promote? Do you promote who? Who's Ohtani still? It's getting rough there in baseball and injuries. Yesterday was the race day of the year. We had Monaco. We had the Indy 500. and we had the Coca-Cola 600, the longest race in NASCAR. However, the biggest day of racing was the biggest day of rain. The Indy 500 was delayed a few hours until finally it happened. Shout out to Joseph Newgarden, who won back-to-back for the first time since 2000. He gets a $500,000 bonus for that, by the way. Crazy. Kyle Larson, he was holding his own in the Indy 500, I'm not going to lie, until he had a speeding penalty that cost him the entire race. He did lead laps, but he was also really behind when he led. He had a pit. Oh, yeah. So Kyle Larson, then the race was delayed. He got on a jet. He's trying to get to Charlotte to be in the Coca-Cola 600 so he could do the double. However, the longest race of the year was the shortest because rain said, nah, Christopher Bell, you're leading. It's too late. It over, son. It over. So this day we've been waiting for, the biggest race day of the year, to be quite honest, not fun. Sports have been sad, people. They've been really sad. I did enjoy the ending of the Indy 500. I thought that was fun. But the Coca-Cola 600 was bleh. I wasn't going to talk about this, but I've been asked questions about this all week, even when I was in Hawaii. People asked me about what I thought about this. The House versus NCAA. Now, the NCAA ruling, or the House ruling really, is that now athletes will be paid. Let's just be real. Now, there's winners and there's losers to this whole ordeal. The NCAA is responsible for roughly 40% of this settlement. But much of the burden will fall on its member universities. Now, remember here, this is about the power conferences. It's clearly about the power conferences. And these power conferences teams make millions and millions of dollars. Millions. The other conferences, the teams, like, for example, Fresno State, they lose money. Their athletics lose money every year just to be a part of the Mountain West or to be a part of the whatever Sun Belt. They lose money. So yes, the players are the winner here. The players, but what players? And by the way, they were kind of getting paid to begin with because they were getting free scholarships to college. Do you know what the prices are to go to college nowadays? Just saying. And most of these guys in the power conferences get drafted, move on, don't even graduate, and get paid more money anyways. So the NCAA loses, obviously, in this. $1.1 billion settlement. They lose. However, the big conferences, the Power Five, will gain from this. And boosters and the fan pocketbooks will gain from this. Because more money will be spent on players, meaning better players. Now, I got in an argument earlier, which is interesting, about someone saying this will hurt the talent going to the NFL because they're so used to making money already, it will diminish how they feel about making money in the NFL. The competitive landscape is still going to be there. I don't care who you are or what you're doing. It'll still be there. But the competitive balance now of the NCAA is completely going to change. The power conference schools and the media rights will be at about 20% of revenue with the athletes. $20 million annually per school. The rest of the conferences, trying to depend on NIL to get players to come play for their schools. These are conferences like Fresno State or schools like Fresno State who could barely afford to keep their athletics going So, yes, everyone says it's good. It's great. These players are getting paid. NCAA, screw them. Put the 1.1 billion out there. However, the result of this is going to be, why even root for a team that isn't in the SEC or the Big 10 or Big 12 going forward? Sucks. It's just not going to be there. And what this really hurts, take away football, take away basketball, all the other sports, baseball, lacrosse, soccer, all these other sports where kids are getting scholarships to play for. That's just being just as athletic as football or these other sports. You're also going to get punished as well. It's going to come to a point maybe in 10 years where the only sports that colleges have is football and basketball or whatever media rights give them. And that's a true statement. So if you have a kid who's young, who loves soccer, my daughter, for example, where's she going to go play soccer if there's no budget or nothing because all the money's being put into football or basketball? Just saying. So yes, it's a big day for college athletes, but the future could be pretty grim. Let me tell you. But we'll see how it all plays out. We'll see how it all plays out. Anarchy! We're going to talk about wrestling right now. So if you hate wrestling, well, tune in because we have a special announcement later, me and Heavy T, that you want to listen to. You'll love it. Big weekend of wrestling. 2 pay-per-views, one in WWE and one in AEW last night. The WWE was in Saudi Arabia. It was okay. Wasn't the best. But last night, if you missed this, if you missed AEW Anarchy or Double or Nothing, but the Anarchy match, it was one of the craziest things and funnest things I have ever seen. It was a lot of fun. Now, I know it's fake. I know it's scripted. But I'm going to be the first to tell you that these people are athletes, men and women. The things that they can do, you can't do as an average person. I'm going to put it out right there. But Darby Allin, who a couple months ago broke his foot in a match, got hit by a bus in New York, came out last night as a member of this 4v4 group and literally put on a show. This dude will not say no to anything. He came out. He got hit by another bus, got thrown down an elevator shaft, and then got hung upside down, but not before he came out with a flamethrower and lit his competitor on fire. It was something to behold. And then, can we talk about the old school 90s Reebok pumps? They brought out a shoebox of the pumps. You set the pump up, like Jordan used to do, with tacks on the bottom sticking out, and started stomping fools. Now, AEW gets his crap for their normal TNT, TBS shows. They kind of suck. I'm going to be honest. But their pay-per-view events are really, really good. We just talked about a couple weeks ago, the Sting, the farewell to Sting. That was awesome. What I saw yesterday, it's long. It was like 5 hours long. It's a little too long. They could have taken out 3 of those matches. Let's be real. But it was a lot of fun. It's good entertainment. It's good, take sports betting, everything out of it. Just watching and laughing and having a good time. Last night's Double or Nothing was a really, really good time. So check it out if you haven't. A flamethrower, Reebok pumps with tacks. They're in the crowd listening to crazy music, throwing it was a lot of fun. Just give it a shot if you haven't already. We do have a baseball game coming up here shortly, and I wanted to give you my Nerfy or Yerfy. I haven't told you which one it is yet of tonight. Now, if you follow me on MondayNightRants.com, you know that I absolutely have been dominating these. What it is a first inning if there's going to be a run or not. So I only bet the first inning because I was struggling with full game or baseball because once the starting pitcher goes away, you got relievers, you got all this stuff. I was struggling. It was the only sport that I haven't been over 500. So I started adjusting to say, okay, how can I win MLB betting? So I started going with the first inning runs, started winning, started doing my research. If you go to MondayNightRants.com, I have a whole article on what my whole routine is of how I decide what games to pick, to bet on, and to win. So check it out, MondayNightRants.com. It's the beauty of the Yerfy or the Nerfy and how to win. We got one game tonight. It's the Astros and Mariners. And to be honest, it was the one I was on this morning before all the games played. So if you look at the matchup tonight between the Astros and the Mariners, by the way, the Astros, what are we doing here? You got a pitching matchup of Framber Valdez versus Bryce Miller. So I look at this and say, okay, you want a game with a high over, you look for the yes runs. A low over under, you look for the no runs. So it's a 7.5. So I'm kind of on the tail of the no runs. Then look at the pitchers. Framber Valdez has only given up less than 2 runs once in the last 5 games. Last game against the Angels, 8 earned runs. Bryce Miller has never this season not had a game where he didn't give up a run. So I know what you're saying. Go with the under. No runs. However, I'm saying there's going to be a run tonight. I think tonight there's going to be a run in the first inning, and I've already put money on it on FanDuel, the sportsbook of record here on Monday Night Rants. Go with yes run and get some value money in this pick because you can get it right now at plus 110 that there will be a run in the first inning of the Astros and the Mariners. The Astros have been playing really good baseball lately. They were off to a really slow start. They still kind of are struggling, but lately they've been good, and they've been putting up runs in the first inning the last few games. So go with the run to happen in the first inning, a Yerfy, or if you want, or run first inning, a roofie, I guess. Not the Nerfy tonight. At plus 110. That was Rantlines. Free bet for you guys because why the hell not? Heavy T is joining us next. We're going to talk about some more what a sad week of sports. Now we're going to talk about depressing MLB teams. But we do have a great thing, an announcement. An announcement that's going to make everyone go, hell yeah!
Hell yeah!
But first, this.
Well, odd. He's holding a cicada. No. Oh, no. That's awful. What human being does that? So we just caught a guy in the stand dip a cicada into a cup of beer and then eat it. That's a sick, twisted individual right there, and he's just smiling away. I'm assuming that's his daughter next to him. He's still going at it. Oh, my goodness.
Put that man in jail. What was that?
That was at the Montgomery Biscuits and Trash Pandas game, where they caught a dude just straight up eating a cicada.
Yeah, I figures would be a fan of the Angels organization. That figures. Jesus, that looks so gross.
Yeah, you want to watch it again? Just the
no. No, I do not.
What's worse, drinking the beer out of the catfish or that?
I'd rather drink the beer out of the catfish.
I would too. Yeah,
I actually think that's kind of entertaining. I'm kind of down for that.
Yeah, I don't know what that was. That was like, I want the backstory. Did he like catch it and then eat it? Like,
I don't want a backstory. I don't want any of that. No, just throw that man in prison and wipe away the footage. Never want to see it again.
That was.
But I need to address something. So okay. Yes, you have mentioned. I did catch you mention that today is been a sad day. R.I.P. Bill Walton, legend.
Yeah. Oh, by
Went
the way,
down.
at the end of the show, there's going to be a whole tribute. I actually have a video for him as well.
Went down nearly the same day that the Pac-12 finally ended. A true legend of the game,
Yes,
in all aspects.
indeed. Shout out.
But there is one other thing that has happened most recently in the past 20-ish minutes or so.
You're engaged. You're engaged.
I am not engaged. Let's calm that down. But no, instead of it being a day of mourning, it has turned quickly into a day of rejoicement. Because as of, give me 1 second while I pull it up, as of 14 minutes ago, so 6:12 Pacific Standard Time, Bob Nightingale, much aligned MLB Empire, calls it quits. Angel Hernandez to retire.
Dude. Yeah!
It is a miracle.
Breaking news here on Monday Night Rants. Angel Martinez is retiring from umpiring. Umpiring, is that a word? Umpiring in Major League Baseball. Woo!
So
what a day.
Here is the official quote in the story. Angel Hernandez, the polarizing veteran umpire who has drawn the wrath and exasperation from players, managers, and fans alike over 3 decades, is retiring Tuesday, being tomorrow.
Whoa!
From Major League Baseball. A high-ranking official baseball told USA Today.
Dude, so many of our viewers are going to be really happy about that.
I'm stoked. So MLB and Hernandez had spent the past 2 weeks negotiating a financial settlement before reaching a resolution over the weekend. The last game he worked was May 9th, and it seems like that will be his last. Good fucking riddance. I cannot stand this dude. So now that he's out, I just need to know when we get CB Buckner on the same train and get him out too. Those two dudes are the absolute worst.
So he's clearly forced out. They've had enough of the fans and everyone and his.
And everybody's had enough of him for I think the past 10 years, especially with social media just kind of exploding.
Yeah.
This is the one thing in all of baseball that I've seen literally players, coaches, and fans all unite on. This dude fucking sucks.
Well, thanks, dude. It was a show of just sadness, wow, we finally have some good news here.
Yeah, no, amazing news. I saw that, and the first thing I thought of was we've broken the chains for 5 free.
I have to know here, and Better Boss in the chat here, pickle or cicada? Obviously, what would you do?
Oh, death. Is that
no, it's not. No.
Probably reluctantly the pickle over the cicada. Just eating a bug that was alive 2 seconds ago is just wild.
I did when I went to a game in Seattle and they had those lemon lime crickets. I did try it, and it was crunchy. They were cooked though. And they were cooked. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine.
That was moving in his hand, man. That was.
Yeah, that thing was still chirping when
it was talking to him. It said, "No, please, don't do this."
Oh my God. It's so gross. No, I'll take the pickle over cicada.
He ruined his beer too. Ugh.
It's tainted for sure. It's tainted.
All right, you brought up something to me. Now we're gonna get depressing again. Well, I was on vacation.
Yeah.
And we're gonna talk about the most depressing MLB franchises. Something that you know very well with your inept franchise series on MondayNightRants.com.
Yes, new one coming out tomorrow, by the way.
It's going to be a doozy. I think next week I'm going to have to next week Monday Night Rants will be on Tuesday. I'm going to tell everyone right now because I need heavy tea here for the whole show. It's going to be a whole show on the Raiders. It's going to be a whole show on the Raiders. The rant lines are going to be all Raiders news. I'm going to be a whole show on the Oakland, Los Angeles, Las Vegas Raiders.
I'm going to be honest with you. So I thought the last blog I did was really long. The last one I did, I believe, was on the Jets. And I believe that one was about 9 pages long. This one, it's 15. So it got a little bit longer.
So plan a really, really big toilet trip when you read this one, guys.
Yeah, honestly, now, if you're reading it while you're in the bathroom, at most, I think it's like a 10, 12-minute read. It's nothing too strenuous. But it's a doozy. It's going to be
Or
one
just
of those
watch the
things.
show next week when we break it all
Yeah, you
down.
can do that too. It's one of those things where you're going to read it and you're just going to be like, "What in the actual hell is going on?" So it's a good one. It's a good one. We'll leave it at that. It's a really good one.
Yeah, we're gonna have fun next week. It's just the whole show, just Raiders. It's gonna be great.
Now, as far as the tweet I sent you earlier last week, so let me pull it up real quick. It was from Bleacher Report, but specifically their baseball division, which I have no idea what it's called. Oh, Bleacher Report Walk-Off. There it is.
Yes.
And it is the top 10 most depressed fan bases specifically.
And I was surprised that my Padres were not on this list. I'm gonna be honest.
You know what? I think if this list would have come out, I'll say 3-4 years ago, they're probably pretty high on the list.
Yeah.
But with them getting all the players, even the season didn't work out, but with them getting everybody, they at least give their fans hope.
Yeah.
Okay. So like at least have that. So that's enough to take them on the list. The rest of these teams, and there's a legit argument for each of them to be number one. However, I think the top three is perfect the way it is.
All right.
These ones are just sad.
All right. Let's you want to show it or you just want to like list them off?
So I'll list them off because I'm not going to go try and find the tweet. That's really bad. So I'm going to list them off. So number 10 is the Blue Jays.
Makes sense.
I'm fine with them being on this list. Apparently, with the rumor, especially with the rumor coming about that they might be shopping Vlad Guerrero Jr. and Bo Bichette. So they might just be ripping that
Those
team apart.
are the franchise cornerstones of that team.
Yeah. So Toronto has definitely been to the playoffs, but they're that team that gives you a slight tease into thinking maybe we could actually be really good.
I think their pitching has always been a problem. That's kind of the big
the playoffs come around and they don't do anything. That's it.
Bautista had the bat flip of the century.
True. I mean, true. I mean, but this is, we're thinking about like most recent history.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember, was it the Rays they lost to last year? I think it was in 2 games.
Yeah.
And then the year before that, they finally made it back to the playoffs. They lose to the Mariners in 2 games in that wild card series. So they got just the past 2 years been there thinking like, hey, we could actually make some noise. Don't do anything. That's the way it is.
And they're 10, so we got 9 more. Geez, okay.
Yeah.
Let's
number 9. I understand the Cincinnati Reds. They're starting to get to the point where they can start to believe again. But I mean, all those years of just Joey Votto wasted away on nothing teams, man. Absolutely brutal. And they were one of the teams that, for whatever reason, they kind of turned into a farm system for the bigger teams. I mean, I think Nick Castellanos is a prime example of that. So, I mean,
the great American launch pad, baby.
A great stadium, great environment too, but just not happening.
Also, pitching's been an issue for them forever.
Pitching's been an issue for them, but you got Hunter Green now, you got Ellie De La Cruz. You're starting to put the pieces together.
Yeah.
So we'll see. They were kind of my dark horse to make it to the wild card this year. They did, I believe, they swept the Dodgers this past weekend.
The Dodgers are in like their biggest slump in like 5 years right now.
Good.
I know, right? Are the Dodgers on this list?
Apparently, Angel Hernandez was actually umpiring a game. As in, he walked away. The fans cheered. It was amazing. So, I'll have to find a video of that later. Okay, number 8, the Detroit Tigers, who 100% belong on the list. They have been kind of in hell ever since their last World Series appearance. Ever since
Verlander left, really.
So like post 2017, because Verlander left, David Price was gone, Anibal Sanchez left. What's his name? Scherzer was way gone at that point.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, they kind of.
That was a team that had good pitching but terrible offense.
They strapped themselves to Miguel Cabrera, which look, by all means, there's nothing wrong with that.
Didn't Detroit have Castellanos too?
They did. They actually did have Castellanos too. Yeah, but Detroit, you strap yourself to Miguel Cabrera and his big old contract. One of the greatest players in franchise history, but I mean, was it the last 3 years of that contract?
No one around him.
There was absolutely no one around him. So the Detroit Tigers, number 3, you basically giving your fans no reason to show up to the ballpark. Just absolutely no reason. It's Detroit.
All right. So in my head, I'm trying to think who the next ones are. So let's go.
Number 7. I'm actually surprised they're number 7. They should be much higher. The Miami Marlins. I've done an inept franchise blog on them, and they are
Jazz
pretty,
Chisholm ain't it, bro.
they're pretty terrible. I mean, the fact that this season they've already traded Luis Arias like 2 months before the trade deadline.
Thank you.
I guarantee you Chisholm is probably gone.
He's not good. He's always hurt. He just doesn't.
Any reliever of theirs that's worth their weight in gold probably gone. So we'll see what
they do
happens.
have good young pitching staff though. Like they're just like
I would not be surprised if
I think they're all strikeout pitchers who walk a lot. Like they're literally like all the same. Like Cabrera, Luzardo, they're the same pitcher.
Two of their supposed best arms, Sixto Sanchez and Sandy Alcantara, they're always hurt.
And Alcantara is always hurt.
He's always hurt. Jazz Chisholm, throwing this out there, might go to the Braves. That'd be interesting, especially after Acuna tore his ACL.
He could go be on their IL.
We'll see. We'll see. Number 6, also surprised that they're only mid-tier on the list. In my opinion, they should be a little bit higher. The New York Mets. Oh, you want to talk about an absolute disaster of a franchise. The New York Mets are probably it.
Their problem is injuries. They have a good core.
They have a good core, but I think their problem is they don't have any good chemistry together at all. Yeah. I feel like you have a couple big stars, and then the rest of the roster is just.
Do you think Pete Alonso and Lindor hang out?
No, they definitely don't. And on that record, Alonso's gone. There's no way he's staying. He's absolutely gone. I don't think they'd actually do it, but I'd be very interested to see if the Mets try to dangle Edwin Diaz at the trade deadline.
Ooh, so didn't he just go on the IL recently too?
Well, no, he's actually struggled a bit this year. He got basically stripped of the closer role.
Oh, he was stripped. That's right.
Yeah. So, but what might need to happen is maybe just a change of scenery. That could be very much it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with there. Number 5, the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have not done anything, I think, since the early 90s, actually, when Barry Bonds was on the team.
And now they're screwed with the money because they keep on paying these players that haven't even proven themselves yet. It's like, what are they doing?
I mean, O'Neal Cruz, great player, little too.
Brian Hayes, why did they pay him so much money? He didn't. I
actually like Brian Hayes. He's okay. He's a younger player, but he's okay. Paul Skeens, hey, if that dude comes around, he'll be like Garrett Cole, meaning he'll be shipped out in about 6 years. So. We'll see what happens with them. They're another one where they bring up these great prospects, but because the rest of the team is absolute dog water, they can't do anything with them. Yeah. So it kind of sucks. Number 4 on the list, and I agree with this. I'm fine with them being just outside the top 3. Number 4, who do you think it is?
The Nationals.
It is not the Nationals. Surprisingly, the Nationals are not on this list.
What?
But I think that's because
they won recently. Yeah.
They won recently, but they also have a lot of talent in their farm system. That's going to be coming up pretty soon.
Okay.
So the Nationals are actually not on the list. The Colorado Rockies are at number 4.
Oh, they should be number 1.
I'll tell you, there's a very specific reason why number 1 is number 1, and I'll get to that in a minute.
It's probably going to be the A's, but yeah, okay.
The Rockies cannot. The Rockies can't do anything, right? That team sucks every single year.
Even their top prospects flame out, like in the minors. It's crazy. It is crazy how bad their minors are on every pick they make in the MLB draft. They always end up. Well, Tovar's been actually pretty good this year. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
But everybody else since Arenado has been trash and not even like it's crazy.
They're basically the team that makes a miracle run into the playoffs once every 7-8 years.
Yeah, I don't talk about that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. For the record, if it makes you feel any better, Matt Holliday did not touch the plate.
He was not. He was out. He didn't touch the plate.
Yeah, he didn't touch the plate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles, man. Nothing you can do about that.
Bob's your uncle.
Right, so now we're in the top 3, and I am perfectly fine in the order that these are laced out.
Okay, can I guess 3 of them or them?
Yeah, if you want. Yeah, go ahead.
The White Sox definitely have to be 1. The A's definitely have to be 1. The other team, I don't know.
Okay. So the White Sox, you are correct. The White Sox are number 3 on this list.
Okay, so now there's a mystery team in it.
They're terrible.
Yeah, they're the worst team in baseball.
Yeah,
Right now.
the funny
not
thing
even close.
is that 2 years ago, they were really decent. Like they actually won the Central, but to be fair, the Central's AL Central specifically,
That's
very,
the
very
easiest to
winnable.
win. Yeah.
Yeah, all the teams in there are pretty mediocre at best. Now they had won the AL Central, but they got waxed by Houston in the divisional round on the way to Houston winning the World Series, and then they kind of fell off a cliff. Tim Anderson completely fell off. The pitching, Hendricks fell off. Giolito got hurt. He's gone. Cease is gone. They traded him. Who's the other one that went to the Yankees? His name is escaping me right now.
Rodon.
Carlos Rodon. Yeah, he's gone. Luis
and
Robert
their star players can't. Eloy Jimenez.
Yeah,
and
Eloy.
Lou Bob.
Hurt.
I call him Lou Bob, but Lou Bob can't stay healthy.
Yeah, he's hurt. Tim Anderson's gone and is incredibly flamed out. Jose Abreu's gone, also incredibly flamed out. They have nothing.
Yeah, nothing.
They have nothing.
Yeah, they're the worst team in baseball. It's not even close. It's not even
close. They're up there. I think the Marlins are technically worse.
No, I'm going to say the White Sox are worse. At least the Marlins have some players that are playing, and their pitching staff is better. There's no way.
Yeah, I guess. Other than what's his name, Crotchet, the White Sox pitcher, there's nothing. Yeah, there's nothing good about that team. Absolutely nothing. That's a lie. They do have Colson Montgomery in the minors. Supposed to be the next big shortstop, but we'll see, man. They are not a good team. Number 2 is actually the Angels.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's a mystery team. Number 2 on the Angels, and it's very simple. It comes down to this. How the fuck did you squander 2 generational talents and not get them to a single playoff appearance?
Who were the 2 generational?
Oh, it's Shohei and Mike Trout.
Shohei.
You had these guys on the same.
I was hoping you wouldn't say Rendon. I'd be like,
oh, hell no. Plus, that's another thing that the article mentions. Just disaster contract after disaster contract. There is no one in this minor league system. I think one of the best minor leaguers they have is Ben Joyce. And going into the season, he was number 398 out of the top 400. So
that's bad.
They have nothing.
Quick question for you before we go to number 1, which we all know who it is now.
Yeah.
Do you think Trout is done?
So here's the thing. They're kind of in a really weird spot. He wants to stay in Anaheim, and I think he has a no trade clause. I don't know what's gone on behind closed doors. I don't know if they've talked to him about moving on, and he just doesn't want to. It would make sense for him to move on. If he's going to go anywhere, Philadelphia is the perfect spot. He grew up not too far from Philly in New Jersey, and he loves the Phillies, and they would take him in a heartbeat. That fan base would worship the ground he walks on. Mm-hmm. So why he decides to stay, I don't know if he's trying to prove it. He kind of reminds me, and this isn't necessarily a bad thing. It's an admirable thing, but at the same time, it's not all that great either. He reminds me of Dame Lillard. He's the Dame Lillard of baseball, as in, I want to stay here. I want to bring this team a championship. Bro, the front office is not putting anything around you to win a championship. They don't give a shit about you. Just go and win somewhere else. None of us would blame you. We'd be all fine. Trout could literally go, okay, if he went to the Dodgers, then I'd have a problem. But if he went anywhere else, he could go and he would be the greatest Angel to ever play. I think the one reason why people have a problem with Ohtani is because out of all teams, he went to the Dodgers. But that's mostly the diehard Angel fans that have a problem with it. The casuals, who are there many, they're just oh, we're just gonna follow LA.
I have a problem with it too, but I've already talked about it on this show. So
yeah, so that's number 2. Number 1, as you guessed it. Now I will point this out. The article did say that the only reason the Angels are not number 1 on this.
Oh wow.
The only reason is because the A's are the one that are actually going to be moving, not once, but twice in the next 3 seasons. Moving to Sacramento next year, moving to Vegas in 2028, assuming that deal doesn't fall apart, moving to Vegas in 2028 when that eventually happens. So now the A's, it's literally the plot to Moneyball.
Let's bring in I posted it last year. I did a video on it. You can look at it at MondayNightRants.com. A short on that. Not only the plot of Moneyball, the plot of the baseball movie.
Oh, not Moneyball. Not Moneyball. I'm so dumb.
Damn it. What are we doing right now? Major League. Major League.
I don't know why I said Moneyball. Like, no,
It's the plot of Major League. And why the fact they don't play their best player?
Well, it's not just that. They got their best players. So
they don't play him. They don't play Ruiz at all because he wore a yellow bracelet.
You mean this yellow bracelet?
That one. You can't play for the A's either, Heavy T.
I stand with Oakland. Yeah, so that's the thing. So the rumor, there's a place in Oakland called the Last Dive Bar, and they put out these bracelets, and they're part of the whole Rooted in Oakland thing. So they put out these bracelets. A bunch of the players got them. They really liked them. They wore them. Everyone who wore them got either sent down to the minors or got benched. Yep. They gave away all their good players. Like Matt Chapman, he's in what? He went to Toronto. Now he's in San Francisco.
San Francisco, yeah.
Matt Olson and Sean Murphy, both those dudes are in Atlanta. Yeah. I don't know where their pitchers ended up.
Matt Olson's been pretty damn good too since.
Matt Olson's been tearing it up. Like he's been crazy. Like half their team, like literally half their team went to the Atlanta Braves. Like immediately after. It's crazy. And the what John Fisher is doing should be illegal. But here we are because Manfred is a cowardly bitch, I guess I could say. Like I don't even know like what words to describe him.
I'll beep it out later.
I mean, could have got a lot worse. Not gonna lie.
No, I won't.
The only reason there was such a pause right there is because like I actually literally there's many names I could call him. I don't know which one to pick. So, but yeah, no, there's your top 10 most depressed fan bases. There we
I
go.
think Toronto makes sense, but I think the Nationals could have been on there as well. And
I think them just winning.
They could have flipped. I think like 11 and 12 are probably the Nationals and Padres, if I had to guess.
Let me think. 11. Every team on there
because you said how depressed is paying all this money for so many years and not winning and like.
I mean, another team on there that I can think of where both of these teams could actually be 11 and 12 is the Guardians and the Twins. I mean, very similar to the Blue Jays, where you get to the tip right there, you're thinking we can do something, and you don't do anything.
And also in the same division of that weak division where anyone can win.
Yeah, no, that's true too. I think to an extent you could argue, at least in most recent years, the Cubs up until this year could have been on that list. But I mean, they did win in 2016, so they did break the curse and everything.
Are they going to get Justin Steele back? If they get Justin Steele back at the place they're in right now, they're going to be really good.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, man. They're going to make a run. But unfortunately, my time is up, and I got to get out of here. But
we have an announcement to make.
Real quick, I believe you have an announcement to make.
We do. Here on Monday Night Rants, we're going to continue to do Monday Night Rants on Monday. And every Monday, we're going to do a full sports show covering every sport like we always do. This will be the staple of Monday Night Rants. But we have an announcement, and here's the big announcement. Heavy T and myself are doing a second show. That's right. Every Thursday. It's not going to be live all the time. Sometimes. We're going to be doing a new show called Born to Heal. That's right. It's going to be a wrestling show under the Monday Night Rants brand. About 30, 40 minutes just on wrestling on AEW, WWE. We're talking about what happened on Raw, our predictions for SmackDown, for pay-per-view, everything. It's going to be fun. It's going to be electric. We're going to laugh. He's the guy that knows everything. I'm the new guy, so he's going to put me in my place for once. So the opposite of what happens on this show.
We're going to go based off vibes.
Are we going to start this week?
Let's talk and let's get something working. Let's figure
get it working. A new show under Monday Night Rants. It's going to be called again. I'm going to put up there again. Born to Heal. A heel, by the way, is the bad guy in wrestling. I'm the baby face. Heavy T is obviously the heel. But it's going to be a lot of fun. I've had multiple people tell me that when we talk about wrestling, they've enjoyed it. So we decided to go out this niche and have a good time with it. And there's going to be other shows too. I've been talking with Matt Sells about doing maybe an EPL show. Things that are like not betting, not DFS, not fantasy, just fun comedy sports shows for half an hour or 40 minutes about these niche sports and have a lot of fun and let you guys all enjoy it one-on-one and then come back on Monday nights for it all in the big circle. So there's a big announcement. Do I get an air horn? Nope, not that one.
Oh, no, don't do that.
Or why not? How about a chair? Okay, there we go. All right, Heavy T. I'm going to let you go, and I'm going to do my tribute to Bill Walton.
All right, man. Rest in peace to the GOAT.
Love you, brother. Have a good night. We'll see you
Peace out.
maybe this Thursday for Born to Heal, baby.
Let's
see.
go.
All right, brother. All right, Heavy T, our big announcement. The new show, Born to Heal, a Monday Night Rants podcast, is going to be out this Thursday. We'll be doing every week when there's a big pay-per-view event, we'll be doing it live. So we can take questions and have fun with you guys as well. And this is the first of many, by the way. Because on Monday Night Rants, what I'm doing here is creating a network of niche sports that aren't talked about as much as the NFL or basketball or, I guess, baseball at this point. What I'm doing is creating things that people want to talk about, and you're all welcome to email me, edward@mondaynighrants.com, and join. If you want to do a podcast, you have an idea for a sport, if you want to do a pickleball, bring it on. If you want to do anything, we're going to do it. It's not all about betting. It's not all about DFS. DFS is dead, by the way. I haven't played DFS except for NASCAR, really. Comedy, sports, letting the entertainment flow, and letting the industry just of fantasy and DFS and betting and all just do their own thing. That's what I want to do here. And by the way, MondayNightRants.com will always be free to everybody to watch all of our shows. I'm talking about Thomas Stevens maybe doing a UFC show. There's not enough of those out there. Let's get in the market. Let's have fun and laugh about UFC. Let's do top knockouts of the week. Let's have fun. That's what Monday Night Rants is. So MNR, Monday Night Rants, MNR is now going to branch out to other areas like wrestling, which I've fallen in love with recently. So Heavy T will be the guy who knows about wrestling. I will be the new guy. He'll put me in my place. We'll have fun. We'll laugh. It's going to be a great show again. Born to Heal. It'll be on MondayNightRants.com and also BornToHeal.com, which will, to be honest, forward you to MondayNightRants.com. So there it is. We're doing big things here. We're expanding. But how do you make money? I'll worry about that later. I just want to have fun with my friends and let the world know that we love sports and all these niche sports, and we like to have a good time doing it, and I want you guys to have a good time with us. That's what it's about. It's not about paying money to do it. It's about just entertainment as a whole. Before I end, I have to do it. Today was a big day for me, a sad day. Bill Walton's game in basketball and announcing was literally immeasurable. From college, where he won national championships at UCLA, to getting drafted to the NBA, to the Portland Trail Blazers, #1 overall, winning them their first championship. Then he left to join my Clippers, where he played from 1979 to 1985. He wasn't the best during that span, very injury prone, but I still love the guy. Then he went to the Celtics, and as a sixth man, won another NBA championship. But that's not why I love the legend here, Bill Walton. I love Bill Walton because he embodies everything that is the Pac-12. When he announces a Pac-12 basketball game, it is must-watch TV. His announcing of a Pac-12 basketball game made me want to do what I'm doing here today. Have fun. Be loose. Make people laugh. It's not all about the stats. It's not all about the intensity. Sports is fun at the end of the day. And the one person who made sports fun, especially in college basketball, was Bill Walton. I would watch every Every game he was announcing, and I'm an Oregon fan. If it was USC versus UCLA, I'd watch and listen to him because he made it fun. Exactly what I've been trying to do here on this show. I was just listening to him last year in Oregon games, doing crazy antics, talking about doing ayahuasca and doing cool stuff with his tie-dye shirts, just having fun. He was a basketball legend, but to me, he was more than that. He was an announcing legend. He was an on a microphone legend to me. Now, I'm not going to start wearing tie-dye shirts and throwing chocolate at people's faces. But today, it hit me hard. And I find it kind of interesting how, as he calls the Conference of Champions, the Pac-12 is disbanding. And this man has finally been laid to rest. To all the heavens above, to announce whatever's going on up there. So with this, I give you a tribute to why I loved Bill Walton and his announcing so goddamn much.
Dave, right? What's your name again? You're Dave, right?
Is that you, Dave? Where have you been, man?
I'm Bill.
Yep,
And we're at Stanford today, and we've got the game of the millennium tonight.
It doesn't get any better than this. I just got laid. Take a bite out of it while it's lit.
Well, it's lit.
Say, oh, I'm kidding. I can't.
How about the face plant here? Today, I have everything. Oh, I love my chocolates. There you go.
7-point lead right
Dust
now.
it off.
Have you kissed your ostrich today? That's what I want to know.
It's National Popcorn Day, please. Party on. It's a wonderful day. It's Oregon. The sun was out. Come on. So I got a shirt for the new football
Yeah,
coach.
that's Tom Herman.
Tom Herman, yeah, from Houston, right? He brings me a shirt. Keep Austin weird. We're going to do our best today. Maybe I'll just strip down right here.
Bill is taking his shirt off.
From myself, from Heavy T, from the Better Sports Network, Monday Night Rants, Thomas Stevens. We'll be back next week for the Raiders episode. And as always, I shout out to Taj McGowan, but tonight I'm shouting out to the one and only Bill Walton. We'll see you next week, my fellow ranters.